fall under Bobity's spell.
And I'd have to say it feels pretty good.
Something's forming.
Beep boop, Awesome Figures. What is up, everybody? This is Awesome Figures, and today we're going to be going over the none other than the 2022 Comic-Con exclusive colors Majin Buu. That's a mouthful. I want to start by saying this is one beefy boy, and today we are going to be going over the pros, the cons, and basically everything that makes this Buu, Buu. So let's start with articulation. Articulation-wise, this Buu is surprisingly amazing. As you can see by his little diaper area, it's sectioned off here. Some may think that that's a bit ugly, but honestly, I think it helps a lot with articulation. It allows his legs to move at basically a full 360, which is pretty cool. You can get him in a ton of high kick poses and a lot of fun running poses. Yeah. On top of that, his cape is also fully articulated, but it doesn't move very well, and it's sectioned off into 3, so do with that information as you will. The way that they want you to do this is to always have these side pieces under this top piece, and you can tell because it's positioned just a little bit over. But as long as you're looking at it from the front, you honestly can't really tell. So, yeah. This Buu also has full movement of his arms. It swivels here, bends forward, doesn't really bend backwards, and his hands are both on ball joints, so they move basically any way you could want them to. His head is also on a ball joint, which is very interesting given a lot of these bigger figures tend to opt for a more complicated head sculpt that limits the mobility of their heads a little bit, and the mobility of his head you think would be more limited due to the cape, but that isn't the case here, surprisingly. He has full range motion on his head, which is pretty great. Can bend him in any way you can imagine. And he does have an ab crunch, but it's not a very good one, and it does cause a little bit of rubbing on the paint, which is not ideal and definitely a con that this figure does have. But aside from that, this figure is a pretty amazing figure. It comes with basically everything you would want in a Majin Buu figure. Yeah, it's a pretty beefy boy. So that being said, let's go over the accessories. The accessories that he comes with are one smiling head, one devious head, one blech head, one chocolate bar, 2 pointing hands, 2 gripping hands, and 2 punching hands. Now that we've gone over that, I do want to stop for a minute and just talk about my personal opinions on this figure. This figure is kind of a pain to pose, but I love posing this figure. He's big, he's bulky, he's just fun. He doesn't come with a stand, which makes it very much a challenge to get him into very complicated poses. But as you can see by some of the poses that I'm going to be showing off in this video, it is possible, and when you do make it work, it looks amazing. Highly recommend. Yeah. Let's go over scaling. So, Majin Buu is very, very tall. I'm not going to actually show his height, but I will show how he is compared to other figures. So here's Majin Buu next to Hercule Satan, the champ himself, next to the always hilarious Gotenks, and the goat with the most, Kid Krillin. So why should you get the event exclusive Majin Buu over the normal Majin Buu? Well, that is a question I'm going to answer for you right now. My main reason for getting this Buu over the normal Buu is the colors. I personally prefer the kind of glossier look for Majin Buu. I feel like it fits his character a lot more, gives him a lot more personality, and his skin tone here is a lot closer to the general release Majin Buus that we're used to, such as Super Buu, who is a lot larger than Fat Buu, surprisingly, but is also just better color-wise in comparison. I don't know, it gives him his own unique personality that helps him stand out a little bit. on your shelf as compared to some of the other Boos. Yeah, basically all of the Majin Boos in this line are amazing, so there's no reason not to pick this Boo up. That being said, let's discuss some of the DLC that you can get for Boo. So some other figures, and by some other figures I mean one other figure, that being the Super Boo that I just showed off, comes with an alternate head sculpt for Boo, which is a smiling face using his like little candy beam thing, and it's a very versatile face. Highly recommend picking up. This is actually one of the very few figures that I think is made better thanks to the third-party market and the DLC that other people are working on. Currently, there is at least 2 different sculpt creators working on a bunch of different head sculpts for this Majin Buu. So if you don't have Buu yet, pick him up now, because there is about to be a whole bunch of new Buu head sculpts, all of which look amazing, all of which are very, very interesting, especially if you're into this hobby and even if you're just into like toy photography altogether. Like, this is a must-have figure. He is amazing. Something else I recommend getting if you have this Buu is the original Tamashii Nation's Bobbity. This Bobbity was released a very, very long time ago as part of the original line Dragon Ball Z action figures, and this is probably one of the few that have actually held up in modern day, which I think is very interesting, given he is such an obscure character to make an action figure of, and yet here he is in all of his glory, looking spectacular, amazing, beautiful. As beautiful as he can look, looking like that. That being said, there's not really a lot to talk about in terms of this Majin Buu, but this is part of a series of 5 different videos that I'm going to be doing, and I felt like this would be a good place to start, because this Majin Buu is very fun. He is very large. He is definitely a centerpiece. If you don't have one for your collection already, pick up this Buu, because he is amazing. He will not disappoint you. Some of the issues in which I've talked about, some quality control issues, some paint rub, and just his overall big bulk physique and lack of stand are things that may deter you from wanting to get this figure. But if you're fine with that and you're just looking for a figure that's fun and enjoyable and will just overall be a good time, fun play experience, fun photography experience, this is the figure you need. You need this Majin Buu. That being said, you can find him on Mercari, eBay, or on any secondary store app. He will run you about $150 on average, putting him on the pricier side of the SH Figuarts line, but he's definitely worth every penny in my opinion. And yeah, that being said, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Hey everybody, welcome to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. This, I think, is going to be the format that I use going forward. The Gohan video that I just released before this, I don't think met my standards, and honestly wasn't something I could say I was proud of, especially for a first video. So that being said, I wanted to produce something that I could be proud of and something that you guys could enjoy, so please let me know how I did down in the comments. I'm working on setting up links so that you guys can support me either financially or just by using my Mercari link, but as of right now, I can't do that, so just hold tight with me, and together we'll figure it out. That being said, I have a lot of really cool stuff planned, and as I mentioned in this video, this is just one part of a 5-part series of Buu reviews all coming up, which are all going to be very exciting, and I'll try and link them together all in some way, so please stay tuned for that. I also have a video coming up where I fix all of the flaws that I have with Gohan, so that hopefully I can produce a Gohan video that I am more proud of. So that being said, thank you for watching, and see you guys next time. Ciao!